So in the last session, we were discussed about brief introduction about the AC servo motor and the comparison between normal induction motor and the AC servo motor. There are 2 points. One is regarding X by R ratio, and another one is the phase angle between excitation voltage and other voltage. These things we discussed in the last class. Now today we are going to discuss to find out the transfer function between input and output of a servo motor. So for that we need to consider one symbolic representation of the AC servo motor. As I already told you, the AC servo motor is nothing but two-phase induction motor. AC servo motor is nothing but two-phase induction motor. That means we'll have two windings. One is control winding, other one is a reference winding, or sometimes it may be written as control winding is nothing but main field winding, and reference winding is nothing but auxiliary winding or additional winding. Both will be same. So the symbolic representation also consists of two windings. One is control winding as well as the reference winding. So first, if we mention that this is called as control winding, and here there is a rotor, and here one more winding. So yesterday I already told you the difference between the two windings is 90 degrees. So both are perpendicular to each other. So this is excitation winding or reference winding through one capacitor, phase shifting capacitor, which is called as phase shifting capacitor. So this is control winding. For that, the control winding will getting supplied through amplifier and modulator. So we know that amplifier and modulator. So amplifier means it amplifies the signal or strengthening the signal. So modulator means changing the levels from one form to another form. So modulating. If suppose, for example, the voice signal is not getting properly, there is a need of modulation. Obviously, we'll get some clear-cut voice. That is called as modulation. So amplifier means strengthening the signal or amplifies the signal. So here the input is called as simply EC, control signal, which is called as control signal, plus phase and neutral. Phase supply is a phase and neutral. So now here also we will take single phase AC supply, which is also nothing but reference phase. Because this supply is going to give to the reference winding. This is called as reference winding. This is called as control winding, and which is also nothing but control phase, because this phase voltage is given to the control winding. That's why it is called as control phase. This is reference phase because this supply is going to give to the reference winding. That's why it is called as reference phase. So here it is called as rotor. So the rotor is connected to the shaft of the machine is connected to the mechanical load. So the mechanical load will consist of J, B, moment of inertia and dashpot, and its angular displacement is theta, and its developed torque is Tm. Mechanical Tm is nothing but torque developed by the motor. So here TL is nothing but load torque. So this is the load. TL is nothing but load torque. Tm is nothing but torque developed by the motor. Now, how to find out the transfer function is, we know that input signal is electrical signal, that is EC, and output is theta. So therefore, we need to find out the transfer function between theta of S by EC of S. Theta of S by AC of S. So how to find out theta of S by EC of S is, theta of S is nothing but output of the system, and EC of S is nothing but input of the system. So in order to find out this theta of s by EC of s is, we need to find out the what is the torque developed by the motor, that is Tm, and what is the torque developed by the load, that is TL. At equilibrium condition, if we equating these two torques, we will get the transfer function. So once I am repeating, in order to find out the transfer function of AC servo motor at equilibrium condition, the torque developed by the motor is equals to the load torque. Then we'll get the transfer function. So in order to find out the transfer function, let us assume some terminals. So let's Tm is equals to torque developed by the motor and TL is equals to, it's a load torque or torque required by the load. Torque required by the load. Now theta is angular displacement. Then omega is nothing but d theta by dt, that is angular velocity. Then J is nothing but moment of inertia of the load. Then B is nothing but dash part of the load, that is friction. Dash part of the load. And here there are two constants we are going to be considered. One is K1, K2. These two are the new terms, K1 and K2. K1 is nothing but slope of control phase voltage versus torque characteristics. Control phase voltage versus torque. That means whatever the voltage we are applying here, control phase, whatever the torque developed by the motor, these two, in between these two will draw one graph. That graph is nothing but K1, nothing but slope. Suppose for example, if the graph will be like this, the slope will be, you can join any 2 points. You can join any 2 points. This is called a slope. This point is slope. Okay, like that we are going to calculate the slope. Okay, now K2. K2 is also nothing but slope of speed torque characteristics. Speed torque characteristics. This is the slope for entire speed torque characteristics of a servo motor. This is the slope only for control phase voltage versus torque characteristics. Now here the torque developed by the motor is represented by Tm equals to K1 into EC minus K2 into d theta by dt. So this is the expression we need to remember. So in order to get this expression, again we need to know about some constructional specifications and some characteristics like K1, K2 slopes. So if you analyze that, you are going to get this expression. So direct at time being, I'm going to give direct expression, but no one will ask how it is going to be derived. No one will ask. Just you can remember, torque developed by the motor is represented by Tm is equals to K1 into EC minus K2 into d theta by dt. So K1 is nothing but slope of control phase voltage versus torque characteristics. K2 is nothing but slope of speed torque characteristics. So this is the torque developed by the motor. Now the load torque. So the load torque is modeled by some mechanical rotational system. The load torque TL can be modeled by considering torque balance equations. balance equation. Like applied torque is equals to, if it is mechanical translation system, you can write force balance equation. If it is rotational system, you can write torque balance equation. That's why applied torque is equals to opposing torque due to moment of inertia and B. So therefore, the applied torque is TL, opposing torque is Tj plus Tb. Therefore, we know that Tj is equals to J into d square theta by dt square plus Tb is nothing but B into d theta by dt. This is TL, load torque. This is equation number 2. Now, already I consider this torque developed by the motor is equation number 1. At equilibrium condition, Tm is equals to TL, because if you are not going to be equate these two, the torque developed by the motor and the load torque, if you are not equals to these two, you are not going to get the transfer function. So that in order to get the transfer function, we need to equal torque developed by the motor is equating to load torque. That's why I'm written at equilibrium condition Tm equals to TL. So we know that Tm, that is K1 into EC minus K2 into d theta by dt. TL is nothing but J into d square theta by dt square plus B into d theta by dt. So here we have two variables. One is EC, one is theta. No need to eliminate other variables. Like if you go for field control method, if you go for armature controlled DC servo motor, you need to eliminate field current or armature current or back EMF, because there are some other variables we require only input and output, but those two are the intermediate variables. But here there is no intermediate variables. EC is the input, theta is the output. So only two variables we have. Just we can apply the Laplace transform, simplify it, we'll get the answer. That is the thing we need to do it. Now apply Laplace transform to the above equation. LT means Laplace transform. Apply Laplace transform to the above equation. We get, so K1 into EC will become EC of S. So you can write capital EC of S. See, before applying Laplace transform, it should be small. After applying Laplace transform, it should be capital. So therefore, K1 into EC of S minus K2 into differentiation means S into theta of S equals to J into, here d square means S square into theta of S plus B into, here again S into theta of S, because it's a dy dt. So here one term which is related to the theta of S. So therefore you can shift into right side. So therefore you will get K1 into EC of S is equals to JS square theta of S plus BS into theta of S plus K2 into S into theta of S. So now if you simplify further, you will get K1 into EC of S is equals to, you should take the common right side is theta of S. If you take the common theta of S, you will get Js square plus Bs plus K2 into S. So K1 into EC of S equals to theta. If you take the common theta of S, then you will get, here if you take theta of S common, Js square. Here if you take theta of S common, Bs. Here if you take theta as common, K2 of S. So therefore you will get this expression Js square plus Bs plus K2s. So if you write the transfer function, we know the transfer function equals to theta of S by EC of S. Therefore theta of S by EC of S means this EC of S will be taken this right side and this will be taken left side. Finally you will get theta of S by EC of S is equals to K1 by Js square plus Bs plus K2s. So after getting this, you should take the common sum terms in order to arrange the properly. Okay, now we'll take the common one by one. So first we'll take the common K1 by S, will take the common. If you take S is the common, what will get? B plus Js plus K2, right? If I take the common, B plus Js plus K2. B plus Js plus K2. This is the common I am going to take. Okay. Now K1 by S into B plus K2 is the single toe plus J into S. J into S. So if I take again some more terms common, K1 by S into, again I am going to take B plus K2. If I take B plus K2 common, 1 plus J by B plus K2 into S. 1 plus J by B plus K2 into S. So now I am going to write again TF equals to theta of S by EC of S is equals to K1 by B plus K2 by S into 1 plus J by B plus K2 into S. This is the scenario. Now this equals to, the numerator can be considered as simply Km by S into 1 plus S tau m. This is the transfer function which equals to theta of S by EC of S. This is the final transfer function. So where Km is nothing but K1 by B plus K2, which is motor gain constant. Similarly, tau m is nothing but motor time constant, which is written as J by B plus K2, which is equals to motor time constant. So this is the transfer function of AC servo motor. You need to remember this expression, final expression, TF equals to Km by 1 plus S into 1 plus S tau m. Km is nothing but motor gain constant, tau m is nothing but time constant. So if any parameter is represented in terms of tau, that is called as time constant. If any parameter represented in terms of K, that is called as gain constant.